Good morning. It's raining, and it's really raining out there. Boy, my boy. We got a good one for all of you in the 618 today. It's the 9th day of April. It's our daily show. CJ Nasello here with you, and really just a good show. But before I do that, I think I made an uh-oh. I was supposed to send Centerstone a Zoom link, and I don't think I did. So I'm going to do that now for 10:10, and make sure our friends at Centerstone join us. We are going to be having some conversations in just a couple of minutes' time with some great folks over at the George Portz Legacy and the lasting impact it's had and going to have. And then at 10:10, Marty and Yeni from Centerstone join us to discuss the CASTLE program, an intensive evidence-based therapy program designed to help children with Autism Spectrum Disorder build a foundation for lifelong learning and growth. Finally, at 10:35, Lacy McDonald will join us for her 100 Years Ago segment and have some fun with us in the studio on this Wednesday morning. So hang out there with me, but now in the meantime, top of the hour news. Here's what you need to know. A busy news day for the team upstairs. Two residents from Godfrey, Lamont R. Lasty and Memory E. Thomas have been charged on April the 2nd with mob action following a violent attack on April the 1st. Lasty, 30, faces additional charges for aggravated battery for allegedly injuring a victim with a bladed metal object during the attack, which involved striking the victim multiple times. Witnesses reported that Lasty knocked the victim to the ground before using the weapon, resulting in a facial laceration. While Thomas was granted pre-trial release, Lasty remains in custody due to prior legal issues, including probation for burglary and a pending domestic battery charge that he was on pre-trial release for. We'll keep you updated as more details do roll out in that case. Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain did announce that Bryce V. Andrews, 26 years of age, has been sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms for the brutal murders of his adopted father, Robert Andrews, and his father's spouse, Leonard Jim Ebry. In addition to life sentences, Andrews received 10 years for aggravated arson and 5 years for concealment of a homicidal death. The horrific stabbings, totaling 115 wounds, occurred in February 2021, with evidence indicating Andrews set the house on fire afterward. State's Attorney Hain expressed hope that the sentencing provides some measure of healing for the victim's family and their loved ones. During a recent work session, the Edwardsville Community Unit School District No. 7 Board of Education discussed the potential purchase of a warehouse to improve storage efficiency. Superintendent Dr. Shelton highlighted the district's ongoing storage challenges after losing lease space due to BJC Healthcare's eviction. The proposed warehouse would provide 3,700 square feet of storage and around 2,500 square feet of office space, 2,429 feet to be exact, facilitating operations for their food service facilities and technology departments. Financing of $1.55 million has been secured, and the property would also house records currently stored at Hadley House, preserving its historical significance. We'll keep you updated as more of that comes out from the school board. Intermittent lane closures on Illinois 3 between McKinley Bridge and Interstate 270 will begin on the 14th of April, weather permitting, for pavement patching. One lane will remain open in each direction, and drivers are urged to reduce their speed, stay alert for changing conditions, and obey all construction signage, and avoid using mobile devices while approaching and traveling through the work zone. The project is anticipated to be complete by June. For updates on I.District 8, you can follow them at X at I.District 8. It's been a long Wednesday. Or check construction details always at gettingaroundillinois.com. Couple of more news stories for you today. In a decisive match at Tiger Stadium, the Edwardsville Tigers triumphed 2-0 against Belleville-Altough. Olivia Walls opened the scoring in the first half with a goal from a cross by Gabby Thompson. In the second half, Thompson did it herself with a powerful long-range shot, solidifying the Tigers' lead. The victory marks Edwardsville's 4th unbeaten match, improving their record to 5-2-1, while Altough faces its 3rd loss of the season, now 5-3-1. Both teams prepare for upcoming games this week and throughout the spring, as RiverBender.com Sports has got you covered every step of the way. Duke Bakery has invited the Alton community To participate in a festive Easter egg hunt on the 7th of April, Amy Hollis and her family hid 72 colorful Easter eggs and 12 golden eggs throughout local landmarks and businesses. Each egg, there's none in the studio, contains a prize, and participants can win a $100 gift card. I actually kind of want to go do this today. Let me do the story first. Won a $100 gift card by tagging Duke Bakery on Facebook with a photo of their find. Hollis emphasized the importance of community involvement and a tradition started by her grandparents in 1951. The hunt not only promotes local businesses, but also encourages families to engage in the spirit of Easter together. Man, that sounds like a fun thing to do. A little rainy, but I think I can accomplish it. Hey, back to local sports. In a competitive girls soccer matchup, Marquette Catholic did win 4-0 over Roxana. The game highlighted standout performances from Alex Steffen, who scored from an assist from Chloe Roberts. Maya Steffen added another goal, assisted by Riley Taman. Olivia Noss also found the net, assisted by Roberts, while Izzy Howe capped the scoring with a goal from Ellie Williams. Marquette is set to host Father McGivney in their next game. Roxana aims to bounce back against Columbia on Thursday. And that's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend this rainy Wednesday morning. Let's look at weather. It is going to be worse tomorrow. I'm just going to throw that out there, so just enjoy today. That's my only note for you today. Right now, it's 43 degrees. It feels like 37 out there. They're saying it's a light rain, but man, those raindrops were heavy. I had to go run to the store real quick before I got into the office, or left the office and came back, and man, by the time I got back into the car, those raindrops were like the size of quarters. Hey, mostly cloudy, breezy, showers throughout the day. Could be one, could be two. Just stay tuned to RiverBender.com/weather. Tonight, mostly cloudy, showers and spots this evening, followed by that rain and drizzle later on this evening. Air quality today is not good. That's why I'm feeling weird. 102, which is not the best for the unhealthy, sensitive category. Grass levels are moderate, mold is low, ragweed's low, tree levels are moderate too, and the UV index is as well. Temperatures will reach 64 degrees today, but I'll believe it when I see it. They will drop down to 42 overnight as we head into our Thunderstorm Thursday. On Thursday, we are getting a chance of thunderstorms and rain throughout the day. A high of 66, a low of 42, but now the sun's going to start to part. Hey, on Friday, no rain in the forecast, partly sunny skies, a high of 57 degrees, a low of 34, and on Saturday, the 12th of April, a high of 62 and a low of 44 degrees. On Sunday, a high of 74 and a low of 55. That's a look at the next 5 days. Here's what's happening now. It's 9:12, 43 degrees. It feels like 37 out there. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back Rehab Recover and Return Home. You can also stay up to date in real time all the time by going to RiverBender.com/weather or by... Hold on, I got to get a live read. Stay tuned. Hold on. Got to get my book of live reads. Or just download the RiverBender.com app. Hey, while I have you, let me fill you in on my friends at OSF Healthcare, because quite frankly, so excited to have them back and just excited to have them a part of the ride with us. You know what, St. Anthony's OSF Health Center, I think it's so vitally important, not only to talk about, the ways that they're revolutionizing healthcare in our area. I mean, from what they're bringing in, and we talk about it all the time on this show. Man, I look tired today. We talk about it all the time on this show, is the fact that, hey, OSF's bringing in all these different nuances, from their wound care clinics and all these other great additions, plus their prompt care. You aren't having to drive 30, 45 minutes, an hour away to get your medical needs. I mean, they're taking care of you. They're truly your community partners. You know what I think's great about OSF Healthcare? It's personalized healthcare and it's advocacy when you need it the most. As a patient of OSF, you're going to feel cared for from the moment you arrive. That's it, because no matter what, they're going to make sure that you're taken care of after you leave and months after, and just to make sure that you're going to primary care. Their commitment doesn't stop with treatments. It extends to financial assistance, navigating medical records, dining options, and even finding places to stay when the going gets tough. With services ranging from women's health and orthopedics to urgent care and gastroenterology, and OSF ensures your hospital experience is seamless and stress-free. They are a great community partner, and that's why you see OSF everywhere in the 618 because they truly do care about the community in which they live and they serve. You can find out more and find your primary care provider today by going to osfhealthcare.org, and don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. We'll take a quick break. Downtown Alton, a commercial break. Daily Show guest potentially. We'll find out. It's a Wednesday.
We're gonna hit the night down in Gay Paris. All over the world. Everybody got the word. Everybody everywhere is gonna feel tonight.
Get access to care for anyone, anywhere, at any time. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no traveling. OSF on call.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois, with specials 5 days a week. Mondays, roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab select 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I wanna be sedated, nothing to do, nowhere to go. I wanna be sedated, just put me in a wheelchair, get me on a plane. Hurry, 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 before I go insane. I can't control my fingers.
A little shot of the Capitol building. Oh, man. Just a little bit of an update from our national side of things. That tariff war is ongoing in China this morning, launching some retaliatory tariffs. You can see the full write-up on RiverBender.com, and you can get more information on that. But today, just a little bit of a national spotlight real quick. We do get daily guidances from the White House in about 2 p.m. today, about 1 Central. The president will be at the White House South Portico, and he'll be taking a photo opportunity. And then at 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central, the president will be signing executive orders. And it's a close press for that. So just a little bit of an update on the national side and just things that we're kind of following. You can also stay up to date on all of that by going to RiverBender.com, and you can... We have breaking news. 2 individuals are recovering after being shot on Homer Adams Parkway. This is breaking just a few moments ago. On Tuesday, April the 8th, the Alton Police Department received a call at 8:55 p.m. Tuesday from a female driver who reported she was en route to an area hospital following the shooting. This is breaking just a few moments ago. We'll pull this up on the screen so you guys can get a better picture of this. Chris Rhodes does have this here now, and we'll zoom in just so we can get a little bit more of that. The call came from a female driver who was reported she was en route to an area hospital following the shooting, which occurred near the intersection of College Avenue. Shortly thereafter, 2 gunshot wound victims arrived at a local hospital. One of the victims was subsequently flown to a hospital in St. Louis for additional treatment. Both victims currently reported to be in stable condition. Authorities have indicated that the shooting was not a random one, stating that the vehicle carrying the victims was specifically targeted. As a result of the incident, all northbound traffic lanes on Homer Adams Parkway from East Broadway and Alton were closed while investigators searched for physical evidence. Those lanes have, of course, since been reopened. The Alton Police Department is leading this investigation with assistance from the East Alton Police Department, the Illinois State Police, and the Illinois Department of Transportation. The investigation remains ongoing at this time, and police urge anyone with information to contact the Alton Police Department's Criminal Investigations Division at 618-463-3505, extension 634. You can also follow this story as it's updated on RiverBender.com. But if you're just tuning in, that is breaking just a couple of minutes ago. And once again, Chris Rhodes does have that on the site for us now. As you can... just go back one more time to this, and that's the fact that 2 victims have been transported to a hospital after an Alton shooting. Once again, those 2 individuals are recovering after being shot on Homer M. Adams Parkway in Alton on Tuesday night. The Alton Police Department did receive a call at 8:55 p.m. from a female driver who reported she was en route to an area hospital following the shooting, which occurred at the intersection with College Avenue. Shortly thereafter, the 2 gunshot wound victims arrived at a local hospital. One of the victims flown to a hospital in St. Louis for additional medical treatment. Both victims are currently reported to be in stable condition. Now, finally, the Alton Police Department leading this investigation with help of others. The investigation remains ongoing, but they do urge the public with any information to contact 618-463-3505, extension 634, for their Criminal Investigations Division. That's your news brief. It's 9:21. We'll take a quick break. While I have you, always great to fill you in on Centerstone, and Centerstone will be joining us in just couple of minutes time. You know, Centerstone really is a national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment for people of all ages. They have a commitment to delivering care that truly changes people's lives. And, you know, that's something that you can't put a price tag on, and that's something that you really can't put a moniker on. You know, that's just priceless and invaluable work that Centerstone does each and every day of the year. You know, with dedicated clinicians that use evidence-based practices in their treatment programs, this means that the recovery care plan is developed for you or for your loved ones based on the latest science. It's not one of those where it's just a program and we hope for the best. They're here for you. They're here to be your advocates, and they've shown that time and time again from countless resources, countless programs when it comes to substance use disorder treatment and a mental health disorder. You know, there's so many different spokes of that wheel, and Centerstone's got them all covered. You know, addiction can happen to anybody. It's 2025. We got to get past that. It can. We've all been affected in some way, shape, or form. But the good thing is, so can recovery. So start working on that recovery today, or whenever you're ready to, because that is a decision. And if you know somebody that's struggling, I really encourage you to gather all of this information that Centerstone's given you and just save it for the day that you really do need it. Because, it's when that situation happens, and if we've been there, we know, it's not a matter of days. It's not a matter of, getting things together in a few weeks. It's a matter of fact. It's a matter of now. And whenever you're prepared a little bit ahead of time, it goes a heck of a lot longer. And I really encourage you to check out these interviews with Centerstone and go to centerstone.org to see how they are not only helping us in our region, but helping so many folks throughout the country. That's centerstone.org. And don't forget to tell them that Riverbender sent you over their way.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, 920, Chris Stott's in studio, Advanced Wiring Solutions. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good.
So, a couple of days ago, right whenever we were in the midst of an election, someone acted like a buffoon and really just created a lot of harm. I mean, really stole things. Were in the Boys and Girls Club for, it seemed like a couple of hours, wasn't it?
He was in there roughly about an hour, walking around, trying to get in the doors. Fortunately, Al does a great job trying to secure the place. Just really pointless how it happened. I mean, the guy busted a window. It's going to cost thousands of dollars to fix that. Stolen Xbox. Luckily, while I was there helping the police get the footage off the camera system, a local business guy was already replacing the Xbox.
Wow.
Other than that, the guy smashed a couple TVs because it showed the cameras on those TVs. So he really tried damaging the camera system. Fortunately, it's not where you would think the camera system is. But that night I kind of reached out to a few friends on Facebook, made a post because I was pretty upset about it. Back in 2019, Dwight Fowler and Teresa Fowler from Hit and Run actually donated that camera system. I donated my labor and time to install it, helping, since they took that building over from the Alton School District.
Right.
Half the cameras that are still on that building are older than the Boys and Girls Club being there. You know, so I went through the camera system, kind of, you know, did some updates to it, looked at it, and I'm like, you know, let's replace the 14 cameras that are outside. They were existing from when the Alton School District had it. You could hardly see anything. So I came up with about 20 cameras, you know, and volunteered to donate my time. So Scott Yarbrough up at Sammy Sandwiches, he kind of asked what I thought it was going to cost. I was like, yeah, I think, you know, roughly around $3,000. So he challenged a lot of his friends on Facebook, and within 8 hours on Friday, they raised $3,000.
That's incredible, man. And he does a lot of good stuff for the community, too. Really does. And it's cool to see like this, though, because the Boys and Girls Club, what Al's done over there and what that whole group's done is just incredible. And what they provide for the kids and the community, and to see that, it just, I mean, it pisses you off.
Yeah. I mean, if you've never walked in there and seen how they interact with these kids, right. You know, some of these kids are rambunctious, you know, but they sit them down, they talk to them, you know, they really mentor these kids to, you know, do good things, to play good, to talk good, to respect, you know. I mean, I could spend, you know, all day in there just watching how they help these kids, and, you know, for Al to reach out to me and say, hey, this happened, I was pretty pissed off about it.
Yeah, and you know, but I think it also just shows you how important, you know, folks do hold the Boys and Girls Club, because, man, within a couple of days, that was pretty much all but taken care of. And then on top of, I don't know what happened at Cat Daddy's for, you know, how well that turned out for their fundraiser, but there's a lot of good that came out of a jerk, just a jerk being a jerk. I mean, because you're not a good criminal if you're going into the Boys and Girls Club for a TV. I'm sorry. I mean, go to a Walmart. You know,
yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to make fun of it, but it's like, what do you do?
You know, I mean, there's bigger corporations. I mean, you know, just the ramifications. I mean, even if you go to Walmart and steal, like, what's that do? That raises the prices of the consumer. You know, because now Walmart, you know, doesn't want to call their insurance company over a couple $100. You know, same thing with Home Depots and Lowe's and all these tools that get stolen constantly.
So what do you have? I mean, now as everything's going, what are we going to have to do inside the Boys and Girls Club? You know, do you think, to get everything back to?
So after being here today, I'm going over to my distributor to actually buy the cameras. I've ordered the hard drives to expand the storage on the system. My goal is, in the next couple of weeks, replace the 14 outdoor cameras and 6 indoor cameras.
No kidding.
You know, scheduling is going to be important. Obviously, I've reached out to Al a few times. He's great with it. He loves it. You know, I just want to throw out, you know, Randy Scholler at Fast Eddie's Chicken, she donated. The St. Peter's family, they donated. Mike Weller at AP Cigar. John Lindsay, Podiatry First. Ed Yarbrough, a retired Air Force veteran, donated $500. And then Walmart and Godfrey, Courtney Howe, they donated some.
Don't steal from Walmart, then. But, you know, I mean, before you go further, I mean, that's just what's unique to me, though, is it's just the run-of-the-mill of people. I'm going, yep, that makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. And they're there, you know, and that's cool as hell.
We have a great small business community, and we care about our community.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing. People think, you know, you run a small business and you're loaded, and you can do whatever you want. You have free time, and, you know, no, we work hard, but we also do things behind the doors. I mean, I couldn't tell you, you know, the baseball teams that I donate $100 here to, or, you know, golfing events for fire departments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we try to help the community, you know. I mean, we want to give back, but it's hard sometimes.
Well, it is, and especially when you see things like this, because I'm sure, you know, especially if you're, and not saying specifically to you, but for anybody that's involved in this process and donating time and hours and money, it's, why are we even doing this? I mean, that's got to be the aggravating factor for me, where I'm like, come on, guys, we're doing all this for you, and then it keeps, we have these issues come up, you know?
Right.
And so I don't know what the solution is to that, but I think it's great for folks to know, for potential bad actors in the future, to go, hey, this isn't the place you come and mess with. I mean, you just don't come here.
Right. I mean, security cameras are a great deterrent. I mean, I look around daily. I mean, I noticed a new camera in Edwardsville. Or, you know, I noticed a new camera in Woodward last week. I'm like, when they put that camera there?
You know what's funny, though? I always look suspicious. Even though I have nothing to, you know, be suspicious about, I'm like, oh, there's a camera. I always walk away like Gotti, you know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you see cameras everywhere, and honestly, it's a great deterrent. It's just, in my opinion, not only from a business aspect, I look at some of the bigger bars in the area that I've done work for.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, recently Fast Eddie's did a huge camera upgrade. I've done Bluff City. I mean, some of these local businesses, I mean, they have to spend quite a bit of money, but it's not only to stop theft. It's also to protect their employees.
You're 100% right.
I've had a customer in Bethalto, somebody slipped and fell on his patio. He called me. He's like, "Hey, I need this footage from my insurance company." That way they could see actually what happened. And fortunately, we designed that system to have enough storage that he still had that footage, even though it was 30 days after it happened.
See, now that's even better, though, for folks to know, too, because, it seemed like for a while it was like you only had a certain amount of days because of the storage, situation 10 or 20 years ago. But now, I mean, especially if you're at a bar and you have all these things going on, and God knows what could happen on a bar night, you have to have all the eyes in the skies you can to keep everyone protected in case you got to talk to the law or you got to do something.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's a huge thing for the insurance companies. I mean, I'll use Stock Auto Body. When Kent Eberhardt was still alive, he reached out to me when I was first starting my company, and he's like, "Chris, I need cameras." He's like, "Or my work comp's going to triple."
Yeah.
So it was cheaper for him to buy a camera system than to pay the work comp insurance, because now if an employee falls, he could dispute that or at least have evidence of what actually happened.
Well, and you're a good community partner, too, if you have some exterior camera systems, too, because if there's a situation that happens across the road, that the police are going to need to look at something just to see if they can catch a little bit of the story there, and that's being a good community partner.
Oh, absolutely. I've worked with, the Alton Police Department quite a bit. I mean, I've got cameras at Bluff City Tackle. There was a horrible car wreck last year where I believe somebody died, and fortunately it was caught on the camera. So the person who left the scene of the accident was actually caught, within a day.
Well, and see, that's why I think this is so much more important than a security system, and it's because it's this. It's a matter of fact thing. With security systems, there's timing and how much. When's that alarm actually going to go off? And if they're studying your house or knowing your property or know who you are, they're in and out. If they know what they're doing. But with this, to have that evidence, to be able to say, hey, I saw this in my neighbor's backyard last night while this guy was peeking through his window, or or you name it. But now to be able to say, hey, I can see this in real time. This individual's trying to break into my home. You aren't waiting for the 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes for the response time of your alarm company. You're calling yourself and going, hey, I have literally someone breaking into my house right now.
Which actually speeds up the response. Because you could verify, hey, he is in my house. If your burglar alarm goes off that you're paying $60 a month for, first off, the alarm monitoring company is going to get the call.
Right.
Then they have to go down their phone tree to see if it's a false alarm or what. And then at that point, after maybe 2 minutes, then they call the police department. The police department, if they're busy, it's 10 to 15 minutes. Sorry. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've called just seeing people go into an abandoned house and the cop shows up an hour and a half, 2 hours later because they've been busy throughout the night for higher priority calls.
That's what it is. It's just a matter of priority. And it's like, when you see that, it's not, the thought of, okay, a burglar alarm went off, we'll get there and check it out. It's we have an active situation in progress, and that becomes a lot different when it comes to that response time because they know that intruder or that suspect's still there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and most security companies nowadays, like ADT, these higher up companies, they'll charge you extra to have real-time monitoring. That way, if your alarm goes off, they could pull up your house cameras and see what's going on.
There you go. Well, and see, that's interesting too. But it goes back to that, man, where I'm starting to think more and more along the lines of if I have the camera system, I really don't need the alarm system because it's just going to make me aggravated when I stumble in at 2 a.m. and I get a call from this company. You know what I'm saying? I hate to be funny about it, but I would just rather have the camera than just the dinging.
Oh, absolutely. The systems that I sell come with a great 4-year warranty. You monitor them yourself. So you basically buy the system through me. I install it. You pay the labor of the installation. There's no fees after that.
No kidding.
You could actually
Wait, so it's done? Like there's no monthly fee?
No monthly fees. I started my company, I want to say 2016, 2017. And the goal was to help residential and small business customers. I feel like I've achieved that. The problem now is I've kind of have such a good name that I've got more industrial work coming up. I've traveled the country working for Save-A-Lot Corporate, doing their security camera stuff and card access systems. The security industry is just overworked and there's not enough people to work.
Well, and it's constantly changing. I mean, it really seems like there's all these evolutions when it comes to new tech, and then also new ways that folks are getting around it. You know,
right? I mean, you look up at the big thing's AI right now. You
right.
know? I mean, artificial intelligence, this and that. That's great. I think it's going to help eventually. But it's not a huge deal. With security cameras. When we went through COVID, we had all the cameras that did all the temperature scanning and this and that. Save a lot corporate. Spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on all these COVID cameras and temperature takers, and then 3 years later they're not using them.
Incredible. Wow.
With thermal cameras and stuff like that, you could put that at a machine shop and actually point it directly at a piece of equipment and know if that machine's overheating without having an employee there. Yeah, I mean,
man, that's even better. See, now that's even cooler because coming from and obviously with sewers, you don't look at it and make sure your sewer machine's not at 4,000 degrees. But if you're any type of in fabrication, imagine the peace of mind that's saving and if you got a big job, you're able to live monitor, or at least keep an eye on it if you see maybe something's not looking right on the back end of that production.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've got customers, Jensen Fab, Jonas Janik, he's a great guy.
They're doing a lot of good work.
Yeah, he does a lot of work. He's doing some cleanup out there at the old Cometco site. He's reached out to me. I've done a camera system for him at his bell shop, and the same scenario. I've had to go down there and get footage for him.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, working for Alton Police Department. Sometimes I feel like I need to charge Alton Police Department to get them the footage because, a customer calls me and they forget how to do it, or they know I could remote log into it and just email it for them. So I get a lot of phone calls after hours, and luckily I have a great wife. My wife.
Good answer.
My wife really supports me. Without her, I truly couldn't do this. She does provide my health insurance. I mean, that's, so she works every day just so I could have health insurance and,
Man, that's cool.
So I'm really fortunate that she supports me. She gets on me sometimes. It's Saturday. Why are they texting you on a Saturday? Or why is it 8 o'clock and you're still talking to customers on the phone? And it's hard because customers having an issue, and you're their point of contact.
Right.
They have to call you. So sometimes navigating those muddy waters can really hurt a relationship, but she's been really supportive.
Man, congratulations, because that is tough. And coming from the Rigdon side of things, I mean, with the sewer, but I get it, man. That's
absolutely.
You got to have a great support system and a great dynamic there. And you got a moment to stick around?
Oh yeah.
I keep getting this text from a guy in Wood River. He said, "What the hell is that on your lip?" I told you, Jonas, I'd do it for you. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
This is what she said. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. I know I can't slow down, I can't hold back, though you know I wish I could.
Stotts Advanced Wiring Solutions. So, work on the Boys and Girls Club will be starting here soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I love working for Al, and I'm really excited about what we could do with those outdoor cameras. You know, to go from they're probably 720 cameras to go to a 5 megapixel camera, which is a little over 1080p.
Right.
He's going to get a much better image at night. And, even if the PD says, hey, we had this happen, out here on Washington Avenue, can you pull up the footage and possibly see a car? It's going to help.
Right. Well, and see, that's the other thing, because those 720, you get into dark mode and then the sun goes out and you have no lights around you, and go ahead and have your little street light going, and you tell me how clear of a picture that is.
Like I said, when I was looking at the footage, I was like, ooh, I can't believe that's still even working.
Right.
So fortunately, when Dwight donated that system, we designed that system to where we wouldn't have to pull new cable potentially. So I could actually pull down the existing camera, put up a newer camera that's got a better image without running all new wires. So it's really saving a lot of money.
See, now I didn't realize you could do that. Is it just dependent on like your Cat 5 or 6 or?
Yeah, so all his cameras are out there, what we call BNC or coaxial cameras.
Okay.
So they have a separate wire for the video and then a separate wire for power.
Yeah.
So the system that we installed out there can do both coax and IP cameras. So that way we could utilize the existing cameras and then also add new IP cameras. So I would say 5 or 6 years ago, camera companies created what they call a Pentabird NVR or DVR. You could do both versions of the cameras because they know a lot of people don't want or can't afford new wires. So if they created an NVR or a DVR that would do both, you could slowly.
That's cool. I like that.
And affordably change wires as needed.
Well, because hell, I couldn't imagine a rewire job. That's got to get fun.
Yeah, I look at what I'm doing down in East St. Louis, which is a huge project. I probably should have never took on. I'm going to be excited when it's over. It went from 400 data lines and camera lines rewiring the whole city hall to roughly almost 500 now. So I did some numbers on it. I pulled roughly 17 miles of Cat 6 in the last 2 months in that one building.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'd be on Channel 2 going crazy. You wouldn't even. I'd be like Britney Spears at Great Clips. It'd be it, brother. So let me ask you though, because I think it's important, especially when the weather's starting to dry up here in a couple of weeks, and hopefully the monsoons stop. But it's going to be time for people to really start looking at getting some stuff done in their house. And what's that look like for you? I know you're busy as hell, but if someone calls you, what's that process start and look like?
So that process, usually if somebody calls me, being a one-man operation, it's hard. If you call me while I'm already on a job site, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to ask that customer, hey, do me a favor, text me your name, your address. Sometimes I could Google your address without coming out, unless you really want to meet me, which is fine as well.
He's a good guy.
I love meeting customers. I love talking to them. I love finding out exactly what they want. That way I could give them what they need, as opposed to, a lot of the bigger security companies, they'll send a sales guy out, and that sales guy will be like, oh yeah, you need a camera here, a camera there, blah, 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 and then they send out a separate guy to install that camera.
Right.
Well, that guy's not going to look at your house and say, oh, well, the sales guy said the camera should go here, but I think you would get a better image over there.
Right.
So part of what I do is meet with the customers, or even if I don't meet you. I mean, I did a job in Shiloh, Illinois yesterday where I never met the guy. I just told him, hey, it's easier for me to tell you time and material, and we could put a do not exceed dollar amount on it, and we'll get it done. And it worked out great for him,
Wow.
But as far as camera systems go, I mean, the main thing is what I like is being that guy that not only meets you and sells you a system, but I install the system. So to me, that's important, from the customer service aspect that
right.
I'm the guy you see. I'm not the sales guy that's going to tell you need this, you need that. I don't want to get rich doing this. I like to go on vacation a couple times a year with my wife, and that's basically it. My kids are growing and hopefully moving out of the house at some point, but the wife and I, we go to Mexico once a year, and that's the one time a year I actually shut down my company for the whole time I'm on vacation, turn off my phone, turn off my laptop, and really decompress.
That's incredible. You need to, though, because if you don't, then you just run crazy, and that's not good.
Right, and this is that time of year where I'm running crazy. I'm doing a lot of things. I schedule a lot of things on the same day. So I stay busy.
Yeah.
And it's important.
Let me ask you, what does that system look like? What's the comm center, I guess, if you would, in a way, look like?
So the NVRs, they're pretty small, actually.
No kidding. Okay.
The way I buy my camera systems, they come in a kit. You can buy a 4-camera kit, which I really prefer not to install. I will, if your house is, say, 600 square feet, okay, 4-camera kit, you're never going to need more. Right. But generally I sell a 6-camera kit that you could grow into 8 cameras if you really needed to. Mm-hmm. So that 6-camera system does smart detection. It detects people or cars. So you're not getting a lot of the false alarms with leaves blowing and birds and dogs.
And the raccoon.
Right.
Maybe.
Very rarely will you get a false alarm. Wow. So that system, is usually my go-to system. That way you could grow into it. If I sell you a system you can't grow into, you may need a 5th camera, and now you got to buy a new recorder that costs $300 or $400, right. Whereas the camera only costs $150.
There you go. I mean, what are you doing here?
Right. Because now you got to buy a new recorder. You want to add the camera. So, now you're $650 in before you even pay me to do the labor side of things. So, I mean, to me, I prefer to sell you a 6-camera system and install it. Most houses I could install that system for around $2,200.
It's incredible. I mean, that's really incredible. I mean, for $2,200, and what I got out of this too is you aren't paying your Ring doorbell $55 or whatever it is a month for your subscription.
Well, right, and I had a real close friend. They had a Wi-Fi type camera system at their house in Godfrey that their car was stolen, and that camera system didn't pick it up because cameras, they're designed to, their motion detection goes off of pixelations.
Gotcha.
So that camera is looking for so many pixelations to move before it actually sends a motion trigger.
Makes sense.
So they're not necessarily designed to see, change of motion.
Right.
And if their car's parked outside of that motion trigger range,
it's over.
It's over. So literally their car was stolen. They had cameras, and that camera didn't see a thing.
Oh, man, that'd be a nasty phone call with that Wi-Fi company the next day.
So my camera systems, I have record 24 hours a day, but they also flag motion. So, if, you're going to have your 24-hour recording, but you don't have to go through that whole 24 hours. You could go to where the camera saw motion and actually see what had happened.
That makes sense. Man, this is really cool. And so is Advanced Wiring Solutions, IL.com, the website for people to find all this information at?
Yes.
Is calling you the best or texting you? Just because I know that you're working a lot?
To me, it really doesn't matter. Call or text, sometimes if I'm busy, I'll just send an auto text, hey, please text me.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't use landlines anymore, so I could send that text.
Yeah. With that being said, I want to go back to the Boys and Girls Club because I think this is really such a great thing. And it all started with this, if you guys are just kind of following along with this idiot that broke in and acted like a fool and broke glass and windows and TVs. And really within, 4 days, you guys came together and are getting this done.
Actually,
It wasn't even 4!
Actually, it was 24 hours.
Oh, my God, that's it.
Like I said, I put my post out Thursday night, and by Friday night, they had raised $3,000 to get this done.
A big shout out to Scott, though, too, and then everyone else that you were talking about. Who donated again, just so we can give them some love?
Randy Scholler, Fast Eddie's Chicken.
Man, before you go, she is doing a lot for the community.
She is.
I really is. I've seen
the
so
ice cream
much.
pup cones and all that.
Cool
all
as hell.
that. Yes, she's doing great things up there. The St. Peter's family at True Value Hardware.
Always.
Mike Willer at AP Cigar.
Another good guy. John
Lindsay at Podiatry First. And Ed Yarborough, the retired Air Force veteran. So each one of those people donated $500.
Oh, man.
Walmart and Godfrey, I'm not disclosing what was donated, only because everybody thinks, oh, you're a big corporation. No, they actually have a budget that they could donate a year. And Courtney Howell there, she went to corporate when she saw my post and was like, hey, can we help them out? So actually anything that was donated from this, Al's keeping.
That's great.
You know, so I asked everybody that donated for this to take the check to Al. And me and Al I'll take Al the receipts for the cameras and stuff. He could see that, hey, I'm not making any money on this. I'm trying to help you. Right. So I obviously decided I'll donate the time and materials needed.
Man, this is really cool. And really it just shows you, I mean, number one, that we have a pretty damn good business community, some good people in there. And really, thanks for being a part of that, too. That's really cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, you know, April 10th, 2019 was when that camera system was installed. So you're talking 6 years later, we're finally doing some upgrades, and it's not costing the Boys and Girls Club a dime.
No, and it really is just great to know why it is the way that is, and in a good way, you know, it happened because you got all these upgrades, but just sad that this whole thing, you know, really happened to begin with.
Yeah, it's horrible when somebody wants to break into like a community center like that. You know, I mean, you look at Community Hope Center. I've donated cameras and stuff up there, and a couple years ago they called me because somebody literally broke into a place that donates everything. So you broke into their cooler and broke the cooler door, and they had to pay to get that fixed. And they're a nonprofit organization, just, you know, volunteer based.
Right. Hope you feel good, you know. I mean, it's just like, why do you do it? It just always just pisses me off. I just never understand that. You know, if you want to be a criminal, be a good one. You know, and I hate to sound like that, but just quit picking on the people that really need the help.
Right.
Know?
I mean, there's, you know, with all the scrap yards around, you see, go steal some copper from the scrap yard and then take it back to sell it to them.
Right. No, that's the old way of doing things. You know, Chris. But it was great talking to you. Great 25 minutes, man. We'll link everything in an article with what you're doing on RiverBender too, because I think people are really interested about home improvements and home security, and especially now subscriptions are out of the damn world for people's budgets, and it's time for them to hone it in. And it might be better to pay a little bit more and have a lot more peace of mind and a lot less stress in the future.
Well, yeah, I mean, go on Amazon and search Wi-Fi jammer. Right. You could buy a $30 Wi-Fi jammer, and your wireless cameras aren't going to work.
Right. Don't tell them that, because now they're all going to start freaking out. 9:49, a little bit of change. We'll link it all in a write-up on RiverBender.com. You stay here. I'll be in the studio when you come back after the break.
Hey, would you drop by the pharmacy? My doctor switched my cholesterol medication.
Yeah, will do, honey. I'm glad he's looking out for you.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including managing chronic conditions. Schedule an appointment today.
What are you doing? We did our home insurance ourselves, but don't feel protected.
So you're building your own American Family Insurance roof line?
Yeah, life's better when you're protected under American Family's roof.
That's not how it works.
Dad, we'll go. It's gonna hit.
See, that's how it works.
For real protection, save up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois with specials 5 days a week. Mondays roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab like 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
We are rolling up on the 10 o'clock hour here in downtown Alton. You are watching Our Daily Show on RiverBender.com and Roku TV and anywhere else Mike has this show going out to, and you're watching it today. I say thank you for joining me and the hundreds of thousands of oh, God, I can't get excited today with my signs. And the hundreds of thousands of people a month that watch this show. We thank you so much because you keep me in a job. Hey, we got a great 10 o'clock hour for you. Centerstone and Lacy McDonald join us then. But let's get to top of the hour news. Here's what you need to know. Busy news day for the team yesterday, and it continues today. We'll take you right first to that breaking news story that happened just a few moments ago. Chris Rhodes broke this on RiverBender.com that 2 individuals are recovering after being shot on Homer Adams Parkway in Alton on Tuesday, April the 8th. The Alton Police Department received a call at 8:55 p.m. Tuesday from that female driver who reported she was en route to a area hospital following that shooting, which occurred near the intersection with College Avenue. Shortly thereafter, the 2 gunshot wound victims arrived at a local hospital. One of the victims flown to a hospital in St. Louis for further treatment. Both victims are currently reported to be in stable condition. The investigation is ongoing, and authorities have indicated that the shooting was not random, stating that the vehicle carrying the victims was specifically targeted. If you or anyone you know might have information about this incident, the Alton Police Department encourages you to contact their Criminal Investigations Division at 618-463-3505, extension 634. Also in the news, 2 Godfrey residents, Lamont Lasty and Memory Thomas, were charged on the 2nd of April with mob action following a violent incident on April the 1st. Here's what we know. Lasty, 30, faces additional charges for aggravated battery after allegedly injuring a victim with a bladed metal object during this attack, which involved striking the victim multiple times. Witnesses reported that Lasty knocked the victim to the ground before using this weapon, resulting in a facial laceration, while Thomas, granted pretrial release. Lasty remains in custody due to prior legal issues, including probation for burglary and a pending domestic battery charge. Also in the news today, Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain announced that Bryce V. Andrews, 26, has been sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms for the brutal murders of his adopted father, Robert Andrews, and his father's spouse, Leonard Jim Ebry. In addition to life sentences, Andrews received 10 years for aggravated arson and 5 years for concealment of a homicidal death. The horrific stabbings, totaling 115 wounds, occurred on February the 2021, with evidence indicating Andrews set the house on fire afterward. Hain expressed hope that the sentence does provide some measure of healing for the victim's family and their loved ones. Finally in the news today, intermittent lane closures on Illinois 3 between McKinley Bridge and Interstate 270 in Madison County on April the 14th will begin, weather permitting, for pavement patching. One lane will always remain open in each direction. Drivers are advised to reduce their speed, stay alert for changing conditions, and obey all construction signage, along with avoiding using mobile devices while approaching and traveling through the work zone. The project anticipated to be completed by June. For updates on IDOT District 8, if I can talk today, follow them on X at IDOT District 8, or you can see that Traveler's Information Map, a really good resource at gettingaroundillinois.com. Let's look at weather. I told you it is not hitting 64 degrees. There is no way. Not even a chance. Not even a chance. We'll find out, though. Hey, right now temperatures are sitting at 46 degrees. It does feel like 41 out there. Mostly cloudy, breezy with some showers in the morning, and tonight, mostly cloudy, showers in spots this evening, followed by that occasional rain and drizzle. Air quality right now is at 85, which is moderate. That dropped from the morning. Grass is moderate. Mold is low. Ragweed's moderate. So are tree levels, too. UV index, nothing to worry about today. We got rain all throughout the day, a high of 64 on this Wednesday, a low of 42, and on Thursday, thunderstorms, a high of 66, a low of 42 degrees yet again on Thursday, and they're calling for mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, mainly later in the afternoon into late evening. Thunderstorms can produce small hail tomorrow, so be mindful of that. And then Thursday night, those storms should clear out. On Friday, a high of 57, a low of 34 degrees. Mostly cloudy with some clouds giving away to some sun. And then on Friday night, temperatures dropping down to 34. On Saturday, partly sunny skies, a high of 62, a low of 44 degrees. And on Sunday, a high of 73 and a low of 55. That's a look at the next 5 days. Here's what's happening now, my friends. It's 45 degrees in downtown Alton. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back. Rehab, recover, and return home. Hey, while I have you, let me fill you in on one of my friends, Jeff Carver, and just how great of a barbecue joint he has. You know, at Carver's Barbecue, every day's a great day. Save room for dessert when you visit Carver's in Godfrey. After enjoying their slow-smoked ribs or a brisket sandwich, treat yourself to a fresh-baked cobbler or a creamy root beer float. It's the perfect ending to an unforgettable barbecue meal. Stop by 2716 Groveland Street in Godfrey. Oh, and bring an extra 20 for their slot machines. And what I think's really cool, too, is there's always some time to go up to Carver's and just hang out, you know, and that's what I think Carver's does such a great job of. The layout's nice. I mean, you're not in anybody's business. It's really just kind of spread out to where you can enjoy your meal. And don't forget, I know I'm getting serious, Easter is here, okay? Mother's Day is a month away. Think about this. Literally think about this, please. You have got to start planning. You do not want to let people down. I know that you're going to tell me, CJ, I got it all planned out. I know what I'm doing here, son. I'm starting to question you, because you could just go to Carver's Barbecue and literally have them cater your entire Easter. What are you doing to yourself? Go to Carver's, call Jeff, say, Jeff, here's how many people I got coming over. Here's what I need you to do. And they're taking care of you each and every time. You know, Carver's is award-winning barbecue, so why just keep it to yourself? Share it with the whole damn family at carversbbq.com, or just give them a call today, and don't forget to tell them that CJ sent you over their way. 10:06, we'll come back with Centerstone and learn more about a really great resource there, the Castle program. Really excited for that. You stay here. I'll stay here in the studio, and we'll come back with more. But first, downtown Alton on this rainy Wednesday.
Yeah. Look at here, Dave. That's all she got to do. Call my name, yeah. For quick reaction. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Get access to care for anyone, anywhere, at any time. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no traveling. OSF on call.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois, with specials 5 days a week. Mondays roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab like 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. Always love talking with Centerstone. And we're learning all about the Castle program today, learning a little bit more again of just what the great work that Centerstone does, and such a great advocate and resource for not only the region, but really just for so many other folks. And you know, Centerstone is that national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment. They join us on the show and really break down all of the great programs. And if we're ready to now, Marty and Jenny would love to have you on the show and just get this started.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, and let's just kind of dive right into the Castle program, if you could. I'm having a little bit trouble hearing you here. If you could you just give us a nice overview of what the Castle program's all about?
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, now I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So the Castle program was founded back in 2018. We are a smaller clinic built around providing ABA services for children with autism. I am the program manager, so I oversee sort of the big picture stuff for the program. But I can let Jenny, who is our lead BCBA and kind of runs the day-to-day of the clinic, kind of introduce a little bit more.
That sounds great. Jenny, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you. How's it going?
We're hanging in there. It's a little rainy down in Alton today and humid.
Oh, really? Well, we're a little dry, but I know we're going to get a little wet this weekend, so we'll see what happens. But no, that's a good question. So right now, some of the services that we provide is strictly ABA services. There's different skills that we work on, what's independent skills, daily living skills, could be academic, behavior reduction as well, depending if there's any challenging behaviors that the parents are concerned about or interfere with their daily living or learning, things like that.
Well, and to me, this is such an important topic to discuss. And for so many families, just to be able to have this really full, compass approach, this full and all-encompassing approach is just incredible. And what led to this? Take me through the evolution of the program, if you all could.
Sure. it started back with our former CEO, John Markley. He was talking with some local providers in the area, and they were discussing how, this was a service that was really lacking in Southern Illinois. And he came to my office one day and said, is this something we can do? Is this something that, we can address? And that was kind of the spur from there. It took us about a year to get the program sort of where we wanted it, and, started looking for staff to, fill that role at the clinic. And, I guess from there, as you can say, is kind of history. We just started very small in about a 3-room office in Carterville. We started kind of growing pretty slow at first, but steady as we got word out. And then unfortunately, COVID hit us really hard. And, we wound up having to shut down, unfortunately. One of the things that, Jenny had mentioned earlier, we work on things like language skills. And unfortunately, it's kind of hard to do some of those when, you have to wear a mask. And some of the children just didn't necessarily want to wear masks. So that really kind of was a big struggle for us. But we came back afterwards, came back stronger. And really, we outgrew our little place in Carterville. And so we've moved to a location in Marion that's about 3 times the size and has like a backyard playground. So we've really kind of grown rapidly over the last couple years. So we're really excited about being able to expand the services we provide and the resources we have for the families that we serve.
Well, and I can only imagine, whenever a diagnosis like this, is heard, especially for, families of small children, it's got to be challenging and in some ways a little bit nerve-wracking. What are some of the conversations, those initial ones, what do they look like with those families? And, what's that peace of mind process look like?
Sure. I myself have a child with autism, and so it is, I definitely agree, it can be a little nerve-wracking at first, especially if you're not really sure, how to approach it. And especially for, when my son was diagnosed, he was much older than most children are. And, we were really told there may not be services for him because he was 9 at the time. And, so I wasn't happy with that answer. So I went back to school and learned how to provide help myself, became a board certified behavior analyst. And so, that's why Castle matters so much for me. And I want to be a place where we can be a resource for those families and provide those answers and those moments of comfort of knowing that you have a team that supports you. You have a team that understands what you're going through, and and what you may need as well as what your child may need. And so we've built a team that is very, very good at answering those questions and being a support for those families. And the nice thing about Centerstone is because we offer so much, it isn't just like you had mentioned earlier, like the one-stop place. So it isn't just ABA, we cover that. But if families are in need of other services, we can usually point them in the right direction to another program within Centerstone that can help them.
Well, and I want to follow up on that real quick, Marty, if it's okay, because, just hearing from your firsthand experience here, whenever you have a spot like a Centerstone, like what with this organization to where, you can find those resources, you can at least connect the dots. What does that do for that family overall, knowing that you aren't having to go to point A to point D to point G to get some answers?
Sure. Yeah, we definitely hope it's helpful. From what we've heard, the more we can offer, the better. And, I know Castle is definitely always excited to kind of expand what we can offer directly. But I think, parents often struggle in finding resources. So, and the more effort they have to put into it, the harder it becomes. So we're very happy to be able to work with our families as they need, and be a resource for them just across the board.
Well, and when it comes to working with the families and some of the tools and some of the great things we're learning, like, developing those complex language and social skills and engaging in conversations with peers to completing daily life skills. How does that process start? And really, what does that work look like for somebody that maybe has never experienced that before?
Sure. Jenny, I think you could take this one pretty well.
I think so too.
Yes. No, definitely. I feel like I know more of the little nitty gritty type of stuff. And again, I still reach out to Marty and we collaborate on a lot of things. So for us, overall, it's like a 3-step process. So first, we have our interview, just asking a lot of questions, things they're really good at, things that they struggle, the resources that they have or may not have. And then we do kind of like our assessment portion where we do different tasks. We play a lot really kind of to see, those social skills, language skills, and, some of those independent skills as well. And we like to see them in different contexts. Sometimes we may do an observation at home, may do an observation at school, again, depending, kind of like the level or the need that they are at. So again, because one person doesn't just exist in a vacuum, we want to see very much, different environments. And then the third portion, or the third step rather, is, when we do start services, that first few sessions is gonna what we call pairing. Basically, we play with a child, interact with them, and gain their trust. We build a good relationship. We build a good rapport. We build a good rapport with the parent, so they know exactly what are we doing, and letting them know those next steps. So again, building rapport, and then slowly start, working on the skills that they need to work on, change if we need to, reach out to, parent, teacher, or other collaborative colleague that we may need to for questions like that.
Well, and see, that's where I think this is, just hearing a little bit more of this, it's really bringing the whole life really of that child, of that individual, really together if you're having those conversations and really, building on those. And just in your work, what have you been able to see in terms of development from, these children you're working with?
I mean, it's been really cool. I mean, I don't get to see them like outside of the clinic, but right. I know like a lot of parents, which I love seeing and hearing, they're like, oh my God, today they say good morning, or today they went to the potty by themselves, or hey, today they went out to a kid and said hi, or hey, they played with their sibling and they didn't fight. So like the little wins is what really makes a lot of people, I guess neurotypical people, or they don't understand this world. They're like, oh, that's normal. But for us, it's a big deal. It is a big win because those foundational skills are really important to build on top of each other. I know with some of our older kiddos, there's a handful, kind of in middle school age, teaching them like those social skills and things like that, how to appropriately interact with peers, with adults, and things like that. So it's been really good, and just having like, the parents' feedback and, see the little things here and there. And also from the same time, like how our kids here as well. We see some of that progress, but we really like to see it outside as well.
Well, and
that's really important.
Well, and to me, that would be the biggest testament of it all, is to hear from the parents and saying, hey, here are those small victories that really for them could be big wins, and that's huge. I wanted to ask you about that quick follow up to this too, because when you're seeing families, that maybe it was, the child's 7 years old or 8, and maybe things were a little bit tough because you didn't understand quite honestly what was going on. When you start to see the child in your program, what does that do to the dynamic of that family to celebrate those wins and to really kind of enjoy the journey in a way and really understand what's going on?
Yes. So definitely something that I like to do at the beginning and throughout the experience and the service that I do. I like to sit with my parents definitely from the beginning. I'm like, hey, this is what we have right now. This is our approach. This is what things are going to look like. And they're going to look a little bit different, or they might see counterintuitive because you never done it this way, or people tell you to do it this way, but that doesn't work. Specifically, with a child with autism and things like that. And throughout, our experience, I'm like, okay, hey, we made this really big step, this really big win. I would like us, to come into the clinic and, see what they're really working on. And so you can learn from us, or if you have any feedback like, hey, this seems really good, but at home we might do it a little bit different, maybe because we don't have this resource, or maybe the structure's a little bit different. So then with my parents, okay, let's go and let's, workshop and think back, how can we make this better? And just like letting them know always like the positives, whether like, hey, today they, sat at the table and did all their work, or hey, today they played really well, and things like that. And just asking the parents, I feel like consistent feedback. I feel like that for me specifically here at the clinic, it's really important. So they're happy with what they're seeing, and we're happy to make, again, very collaborative experience.
Well, and I just really love this individualized approach to treatment, and I think that's so important for parents or anybody that's out there that might be, looking into this, or maybe there's, something that's, happening that they got to kind of adapt quick to it and start looking at these options. And it's great to know that, from that comprehensive assessment to the treatment that individualized treatment that you're truly taking care of. And it seems like it's not just from hearing both of you speak a couple of minutes, it's, including that family dynamic in too, which is, I think, so valuable. It's not just the child, you're also helping, the parents, the family member. And I think that's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Some part of our insurance, thankfully, it's like it provides parent training. So like at the same time, it just like we're able to strictly like have a session for the parent and with a child, or be really focused on the parent, helping them through those questions, or helping them through that tough time and knowing how to implement or follow through with the task or the skill that we're learning through, things like that.
Well, and with that being said, as well, just to get a few of some of the I guess the FAQ questions for the parents, what are the age cutoffs for the Castle program? What's that age range look like? And is there an additional opportunity if there's a later diagnosis?
So right now we have around a 13 to 16-year-old cutoff. So there's no really hard one per se, unless I know, Marty, I think we said 16, right? But 13 and 16, I know the older it gets, it's a little bit challenging in certain areas on providing services or how many hours we can provide. So we really try to work as much as we can, really writing strong plans for, for those to be approved. And also, and we have had kids who are older. We want to make sure that we provide significant documentation or evidence of the reason why they need services and things like that. But yes, anybody, like even if they got a diagnosis at 7 years old, we can still take them as long as they're recent, and we do all the insurance check mark, unfortunately. But yes, I do definitely try my best to make sure, like, hey, we have this documentation. Can you get a follow up on this? Can you get me that, to make sure that we can provide those services, and just keeping up with that.
Absolutely. And Marty, I think I'm hearing a little bit more of your audio now. I'm starting to hear you clear. I'm sorry if I missed a part of what you were saying on that. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's a little faint. I just wanted to make sure I was giving you the same opportunity too, Marty.
Oh, actually, I mean, Jenny answered perfectly. Like I said, the one thing I will expand, just again, as a parent, my son was diagnosed at 9, and at the time, he's in his 20s now. And so for me personally, it's about providing services as long as we are able to, because I don't want any parent to feel that they can't get services. If we can find a way to do it, we will try.
That's to me, that is so important for the public to know about too, though, because, I think so many times, we get in our own heads as individuals, because we might look for programs and might, even though we might be close to cutoffs or qualifications, we don't pick up that phone and call. So it's good for the public to know, hey, you're good to go. This Castle program at Centerstone is here for you. And that's what I think is so important. And like you said, on the personal connection to that, Marty, to truly have lived experience, and then to turn this work and really to help others. I think it's a good testament to just the evolution of this Castle program and how it does, really just go above and beyond, because you've been able to experience this yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, and going forward, just so the public knows, insurance and all, what type of insurance you guys take for this, or how does that work?
So we take a variety of different providers. We're always looking for more. Occasionally, there are some, it can take some time whenever we try to get a new one. But Jenny I think, has a list of the specifics. But we do also now take Medicaid. Which we tell people it can take a couple weeks to get in, to maybe a couple months. So be patient, but we can try to get that sorted. And then of course we also take private pay as well.
Wonderful. And how does that intake process look? I know that you said a couple of weeks. Is it is everyone kind of in that same boat when we're starting the process with you at Castle?
Good.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Yes. So for that intake, again, it really depends. And I wish that I had a very specific or more accurate answer, but overall, it's about like a safe one is like 4 to 6 weeks, like from the first time we see you until you receive services. About 4 to 6 weeks blend. It might be a little bit longer for, like Marty said, a couple months potentially. Again, that's where I run more like in our Medicaid kids. With commercial it could be a little bit shorter, but it just really depends, because like kind of going back and forth with insurance. Okay, we provided all this paperwork, but then like, hey, you missed this X, Y, and Z. It could be as simple as like a school schedule. Like, what's your school schedule? What's your schedule? Do they coordinate? And I have to like kind of like, oh shoot, I forgot about that, or hey, I missed that interview or whatnot. And sometimes insurance, and depending on very specific kids policy, medical policy, it might be like, oh, we just need a very quick 1-page Word document, or may need a 20-page Word document, so that, it's kind of like a racehorse. Oh, they're waiting. Yeah, we're really there. And then like, oh no, we need this documentation. So we have to halt and stop and, kind of go back. So again, the average window is about 4 to 6 weeks, maybe a couple months.
Okay, well, and that's great for the public to know about too. And before I let you go, and I wanted just to leave, I want to leave with one final question, but I do want to ask one more for you too. And it might be kind of a hard thing to kind of answer, just because it's all individualized and you just never know. But maybe for parents that are out there that have a younger child, you know how Google can get whenever you start to Google things. Is there any advice that you could give them, you and Marty both, that, about what maybe to observe, what to kind of take into account if if it might be a diagnosis of an ASD?
Sure. My advice is speak with your doctors early. If there's any concern, talk to your primary care, talk to your pediatricians. They've gotten very good at detecting autism early. And so, it never hurts to ask questions. And that would be my advice, is seek that help early.
Absolutely. Jenny, do you have anything to add to that?
Oh, I feel like definitely like Marty hit that nail on head on the nail. Just because like that is some of the questions, like how do you know, like what do you think? And I'm like, honestly, go with your medical provider, ask all the questions, be that annoying person, because nobody's going to advocate for your child more than you will. Like, I will try my very best, but I only see them a couple times a week or a couple hours. You are then with them every day, and when things are a little off or they're not like themselves. So definitely ask a lot of questions, and don't leave questions unanswered. Like, if your medical provider doesn't know, go ask another medical provider, get a second opinion and things like that. But for sure, we'll ask lots of questions.
Very important. And before I let you both go, I do got to ask you one very tough question, I think. And I really do mean this, because at first I thought, this is a softball, but I really think after hearing you speak for the last couple of minutes, there's so many spokes on this Castle program. Is there one thing that you take away from the Castle program the most?
That is a really good question. Oh my goodness.
I don't ask very many good questions.
No, I think they've been really good questions. I've been really enjoying this for sure. Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know if Marty, you want to go first or.
So I would say, for me, what I take away from the program, is twofold. One, I get to work with an amazing team, and it is great to see them in action. And I will say nothing puts a smile on my face faster than visiting the clinic, seeing Jenny and the rest of the team in action, watching the children play. So that's what I take away professionally. What I take away personally is Castle has been something that I have been very protective of since we launched it, as a parent and as somebody who is connected to the ASD world. And I have been able to find individuals both within Castle and out of Castle that help support that vision that we have, and seeing it grow from, like I said, a small clinic in kind of a shopping outlet building to what some of our parents now refer to as feeling like they're coming in a home at our new clinic. It doesn't feel like a clinic. Mm-hmm. And that watching something that you care about grow and help other individuals is what I take from personally as a success for Castle.
I love it. I mean, that really is just beautiful, Marty. And Jenny, did you have anything to add to that?
I think again, I echo the same as Marty for sure. I really love, I never knew that this is something I wanted, honestly, until in 2017, 18, when I stumbled in the ABA world, because we're kind of niche in a way. And then I'm like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. I want to be able to teach, neurodivergent individuals that they can do everyday life, or teach them learning tools, or give them tools, or teach them how to kind of navigate this very neurotypical life, and just get coping mechanisms and how to deal with certain things or move forward with life, because that is very difficult, because again, unfortunately, the world is not built for neurodivergent people, and I just want to make sure that I can do whatever I can in order to provide them a better quality of life. And I just love the science behind it. I'm a big nerd about that for sure.
Well, and I just think it's great to hear both of your passions on this, and really for the public to know that, you have some advocates and dedicated folks and staff that are ready to help. And before I let you go, what's the best way to find out more information on Castle?
Sure. You can go to the Centerstone website and search for Castle. I believe it'll bring up the flyer that you currently have. You can reach out through the 1-800 number, which I believe, is 1-877-HOPE-123. That's kind of the general Centerstone number they can put you in touch with us. Or they can reach out to the clinic directly at 618-319-6060, and that'll put them directly in contact with Jenny.
Well, thank you guys seriously so much for a wonderful conversation. Sorry, my voice is going out on you. And really just great to hear more about this program. We are going to link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com to help raise more awareness for families. But thank you guys so much for your time. And once again, just really a great conversation.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
No problem. The time's 10:35 on this Wednesday morning. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Lacy McDonald and go back 100 years ago into the time machine right after this.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
You wanna stay out with your fancy friends? I'm telling you, it's gotta be the end. Don't bring me down. No, 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 no. I tell you what's wrong.
Welcome back. Wrapping up the show with Lacy. I just love ELO, you know? Like, it's one of those you can always, you're never going to turn it off.
Right. It's
and
always going to make you
get
feel
the hell out of my house.
It's always going to make you feel a little bit better than you did before, no matter what your mood.
Mr. Blue Sky, fantastic.
Yeah.
That is, scientifically proven, happiest song ever made.
Really? How do they scientifically prove
don't
that?
know, but someone declared it. I will pull that up here in a second. But it was declared the happiest song ever made.
All right.
There you go.
If it was declared.
It's not happy today because we're talking about somebody dying.
Well, he did live a long and fruitful life. So that's kind of all
That's
the
what
best
I said
of
about
us.
my hamster.
Oh, how did your hamster die of old age?
No, that's why my mom told me when he just fell over.
Oh, well, maybe it was old age. I don't think
it was 6 months.
Well, how old was he?
I don't know.
I'm trying to help you out. Trying to help out your mom. Well, unlike CJ's childhood hamster, other James T. Callahan had a long and productive life.
I don't know why that's so funny to me today.
I feel like that's how he would want to be remembered.
I
as
hope so.
Living a longer and more productive life than your childhood hamster. That's the legacy we all want.
That's very true. So how'd you write about him? I don't know where to go with this.
Okay. You know what? He had a sense of humor. So I was joking before, but I don't think he would hate this.
Good. As long as he's a happy man.
Yeah. Yes.
Because poets can get a little.
Yes. Mercurial.
Oh, wow. Okay. I did not go to enough college for that one.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means like having moods that go back and forth.
Oh, that's me all the time.
Yeah, well, you can now say mercurial.
I'm like Carson, man. You get me at home and I'm like a shell, you know? But this is really cool, though. And so, local man?
Local man, yes. He was born in Alton in 1856, started writing for the Alton Evening Telegraph in 1891, and he had a daily column, which was like crazy for that time.
Yeah.
And it went on for about 35 years, called Stray Scraps.
Was it a syndicated column or?
I think it was just local.
Just local? Okay.
Yeah, but he did a whole bunch of different stuff for the Telegraph, but he always wrote this column. And they talked about how he was, with the Telegraph through the lean times, because, newspapers have lean times. You look like you have a question.
What's a lean time?
Lean, like when things were difficult and they almost shut down.
Sorry.
So, no, it's all right. Clarification.
My vocabulary skills.
No, this is good, because I'm sure that there are things that
that
we talk about that people are like, what is that?
Mean?
Yeah. So he actually studied to be a lawyer, but really loved writing. And so he started working for the Telegraph instead. And he was also the clerk for the city court of Alton for a period of time, I think, while he was writing.
Wow.
But yeah, and the cool thing about this is that I knew about his book before I knew about anything else about him, because this is one of the books that we digitized in 2020 when everything shut down. So since we didn't have patrons coming into the library for a while, we took it upon ourselves to start digitizing all of our out-of-print books. And this was one of them. So we actually did it a couple years ago. And then when I ran into his obituary as I was working on this column, I was like, well, perfect. We already have it. We can provide it if anybody wants to read his work. And then it was also kind of cool because it talks about how, his poems will live long after the identity of the writer perhaps has been forgotten, or, like that this can be in demand well after he is no longer here, stuff like that. So it was kind of nice to be able to provide that right away of like, yeah, we are helping his work live on through our work at the library.
That is so cool.
Thank you.
Really cool. So, with that being said, so when did the book come out?
It came out in 1923.
Okay. So
yes.
2 years before he dies.
Yes.
Was it pretty well received, or?
Well, it didn't sell well.
Okay.
I think, he was a really good writer, and I think that maybe because everybody experienced his work in the Telegraph.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so a lot of people, apparently a lot of his friends were like, you should publish a book. You should publish a book. So he took a bunch of the different poems that he had written for the Telegraph over the years and compiled them into a book. And it said that he tried, it was $1. It actually says that on the front page. Tried to make it affordable enough for anyone. They were printed locally. But I think everybody, like all your friends saying you should write a book, did not translate into the wider population actually buying the book.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. But you know what? It seems like he was really just more dead set on keeping everything localized and just doing it the right way, though, regardless. It wasn't like he had this harebrained idea that, I'm going to be a millionaire. And, that's what I think's cool about this guy.
Yeah, I think it was more about preserving his own work in that sort of way. And then now we get to take it a step further and have it digitized. And it's on our online digital collection. And so on archive.org. So when you turn the pages, it's like actually flipping a page, which I really love because you still have the experience. And we also have it on the shelf. So if anyone wanted to come in and actually read the book as a book, we can do that too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Did you have a moment to take a break?
Sure.
Awesome. Hey, you know who's having more fun than we are?
Who?
Not Kara Spencer this morning. Did you see that speech last night?
No.
I'm never going to make an accusation, but I think that there was a lot of fun to be had. And rightfully so. You win in a massive landslide. Go ahead and have fun. But it's never a good look to see a politician holding a wine glass while you're giving a victory speech.
Oh, you got to wait until after you're done.
Like I said, I don't give a darn 6 ways to Sunday on how last night broke down.
Right.
But probably the best word of advice would be just go ahead and give that and then go to the back.
Right.
And go ahead and pick that glass up again.
Yeah, like a good winner, good sport kind of deal.
Yeah, she's getting kind of smoked right now.
Wait.
Yeah. All right. Hey, but you know what? At least I think we're in better spirits today. Back in a bit.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call GRID when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
They couldn't see and they just didn't understand.
I hope I don't have a feud with Kara Spencer.
Probably not.
I would hope not. I could start one. You know, like how Stern used to just like grab people and just start yelling at them for no reason.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You know?
I hope it's not me.
No, I can't do that.
Thank you.
You know what's funny? I never turn it up to a 10 anymore because I'm just so... I 10 years ago, CJ, I was screaming all the time and loud, and I'm just like, 70 degrees.
Yeah.
Welcome back in. It's almost like NPR, you know?
Just at the soothing CJ voice level.
Soothing CJ voice is an oxymoron, Lacy.
Well, maybe this is your version of that.
That's true. What did you enjoy? Did you know of so you knew of the book before you wrote the article?
Yes.
Do you like is it worth the read? Like, I hate to sound so terrible, but I mean, because we all know, like, something sounds good until, we're about 2 pages in and that's all she wrote.
So this is like the Lacy's 1923 book review now.
Kind of.
It is of its time. So there are phrases in it that, I'm just like, the way that, like, Native Americans or indigenous peoples are referred to, because there's a poem about the Piasa bird.
Oh, gotcha.
So like stuff like that.
So it's not like it's not terribly misdated.
No, but I mean there are like little things like that. There's some casual sexism. We're talking about the 20s, the 1920s. And so if you can know that going in,
you're fine.
You're fine. And I actually really loved the poem that he wrote for his very last column of Stray Scraps in the Telegraph, because he had jaw cancer. He knew that he didn't have much longer to live. Like, it was rough. And so he wrote this poem that came out about a month and a half before he died. And it is about his death, like his imminent death. But he had this jaw cancer, and he was telling people, like, when he ran into people on the street, he would say, like, I'm dying by inches and I'm a tall man. Like, he had a sense of humor about all this. So I think it's worth a read. And there's so much that's so local. There's a poem about Hop Hollow. There are a lot of poems that mention specific people that then you can look up. So I like the book. I like the poems when I run into them when I'm just going through the newspaper. I like reading them. But yeah, you definitely have to think, all right, this is 1923.
Gotcha.
We're going into it with that.
Man, this is a really sad poem.
It's very sad.
Gosh. I mean, I get why. I mean, like, obviously it's over.
Yeah.
And, but man, even for 2025, that's kind of still pretty powerful today. Wow.
Yeah. He was a phenomenal writer. And I did love in his obituary, and I don't know who wrote his obituary, but it was someone who was very poetic themselves. And it said, on a bright moonlit night in springtime, just as he might have wished it, because Jim Callahan was a very sentimental man, his spirit took flight from the body which had been pain-racked for many months. And so it went on to talk about his writing and his life. And he had several children who were prominent in Alton as well. A lot of friends. I mean, he was clearly very well loved at the Telegraph. And so there were also several little columns that his coworkers wrote about him and how much they would miss him and everything. Cool. So again, it's like, if you're we're all going to die, but to be remembered in such beautiful ways is really nice.
And I think that's really, and because, so many times I think people want the national attention and they don't realize all the national work that goes into that and how you don't have a family and you don't have friends until you're done working. I mean, you just don't. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
But whenever you're able to do something here locally and create something like this, then you can still keep all of that with you and you can still be successful. And I think that that's really the point to make in this one too.
Yeah. 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 Work-life balance.
And he did.
Very important. Yes.
Man, I will meet the happy dead. That is just a way to end the line right there. Wow. Lacy, what did you like most about this one?
Ooh, what I liked that we had already digitized the book and then I got to bring it back out in a new fun way. Fun relative, but I got to portray it differently than just the book itself. Talk about the person behind it. Because when we did this, it was just one of hundreds. We have about 300 something books that we personally have digitized in our online collection that people can read from anywhere. You don't have to log in or anything. Anywhere around the world, if you have the internet, you can read these books. And so at the time, we're getting through all the ones that were out of copyright. And then to be able to go back and look at it more closely has been really fun because we did the hard work already, and now we get to do the fun poetic part of it.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
What are you writing about next week?
I am writing about the Play Institute that they had in 1925. They had just formed the Parks Department, the Alton Parks Department. Mm-hmm. And this was a 4-week series of sessions on how to play games.
I never picked my head up like that. Is that seriously it?
Yeah, that's seriously it.
Okay. I'm out of time. I gotta go to the North Hall. Have a good day. Kara Spencer did last night, and
maybe wait till you get home from work.
Try your best to stay out of jail.